Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert for the afternoon edition on April 15th, 2020. I hope the wind isn't drowning me out here. It just started to pick up a little bit. We're out here by the pond. As you can see, it's receded quite a bit. The clay down in the bottom of it seems to be getting to the point where it'll actually hold water really well. But up here by the edges, I need a lot more. It's probably a ½ an inch thick in some places, but up closer to the shore, it's only 3/8 and a ¼ inch. So it recedes pretty quickly because it seeps out the sides. And everywhere there's plants growing in there, of course, they're sticking through the clay, so it's like having a hole in the liner of a pool. The water seeps right down along the side of the plant. So sooner or later, I'm going to have to get all those plants out of there that are in the bottom. When I finally decide what I'm going to do. You can see the other two sections over there are just all curled up and cracked now because all the water's dried off of it, and of course that's what happens to clay when it dries out. So anyway, I wanted to update you on the pond for the first part of this video, and we're going to move on to the next thing down the line, and that's over by the chicken coop. But on the way over there, I want to mention that the butterflies, the monarch butterflies, for the past 3 days, I kept forgetting to video them, and now there's just a few here and there. But for the past 3 days, there was swarms of them, thousands upon thousands. You can see a few of them fluttering around here as I walk. There's one right there on the soil, just took off. But yeah, thousands of them. And I mean, they were everywhere around here. Just, I guess all of this green that's out here in the desert is an attraction to them. And my pea plants have all got flowers on them now. The volunteer pea plants. There's one that would be right underneath Andy's motorhome if he was here. There's another one there, would be underneath his motorhome, and another one there, and a couple off to the side. So yeah, quite a few of them. So I was out here feeding the chickens earlier, and I took a seat down in the coop after I cleaned up both coops and runs, got everything nice and clean. And there's Nellie on the ramp. She is a big girl. She's almost as big as Brewster the rooster now. And she's not laying eggs right now, but that's probably because of one thing that I did that was bad was when she was new to this coop, I opened up one of the coop, these are the nesting boxes. I opened up one of the nesting boxes covers while she was sitting in the nest, and that's spooked her a little bit. So I don't think that she's relaxed enough yet to go back in and lay eggs. So we'll have to see what we can do about that. But I want to tell you about a change in plans that I have here. I've been mentioning that I would like to turn this into a walk-in chicken coop. Well, when I was sitting out here getting to know the chickens, I thought to myself, you know what I ought to do is I ought to come over to the original chicken coop and modify it. Instead of taking it out of here, I'm just going to modify it. So I'm going to continue the walls all the way down like I have them up here so that they go all the way to the ground. I'll put a wooden floor on the inside. I'll take this flap door, the cleaning flap door, off of here, and I'm going to infill the section, but I'm going to put a man door on this edge. And I may, I don't know, I may enlarge. I don't think I have to, but right now I have nesting boxes on the sides here, and I could do 2 above those on each side. So instead of 4 nesting boxes, I would end up with 8. And then I'd have a man door to walk in right here to get into the coop. And I wouldn't have to do anything to the front side, except I'm going to take the floor out of this thing. And the floor in here is only 1/4-inch hardware cloth with a piece of FRP on top of it. So if I take that floor out of there and continue this down, I could have it a walk-in. And then I'll put ramps on the inside of the coop and a shelf, corridor shelf, right at the ramp that comes up into their front door there on the other side of the coop, so that they can come up the ramp and they can walk on the corridor one way or the other and get to the nesting boxes. And I've got 2 perches in there already that are up high. So if they can get up to the top of the nesting boxes, they can get on the perches. And then they can get down onto the little shelves that I'll have going in front of the nesting boxes all the way around. And they'll be able to get into nesting boxes as they need to. Good idea. So little modifications coming here soon. I'm going to start getting the materials together that I need. I think I still have enough of this siding board. Well, actually, this is all fence board that came off of an old fence that we tore down. My friend Vince had to replace a fence, and this was all leftover wood from the old fence we took down when we put the new one up. So I'll finish this whole thing off, put a new man door on this side of it. I'll take that water unit and move it around the other side there so it's out of the way. And hey, got it made. I might not even have to move that now that I'm thinking of it. It won't be in the way of anything. And I've already got it piped to the inside for water. So it might work out just fine. And the chickens can go up and down to 3 different levels inside the coop. It'll be cool. Nice idea. Then this will remain a run extension, just like it is, but with the wire taken out of the inside there. And then I'll have 2 wired box units that I can slip into those 2 openings and close it back off anytime I need to, and put a small coop in here for baby chicks when they're growing up, or isolation booth to get, if I got some chicken that's being picked on, I can isolate her and get her over to the side here. Pretty interesting, huh? All right, next. Today I came in here and I was sitting here messing around and thinking about the chickens. I realized Brewster and Nellie were over there in their bath taking a bath. These guys didn't know anything about that. So I brought a shovel in and I broke up the soil along here and turned it over and softened it up. Now they've got it pretty tamped back down again, and I'll break it up again tomorrow. But they were in here digging and laying on their sides and then taking their little dust baths like chickens like to do. I didn't think they would do that at this age, but sure enough, they loved it. And then as they were digging, they were finding roots from the plants that were growing and pulling those out. And one little buff that I call Whitey because it's got a white head, just loved teasing the others. It would come over here, find a root, pull it up, and then show it to the others and take off running with it. And then all the others would chase it to try to get the piece in, and running all the way around. Oh, you notice that I also made a perch for them here, so they can get used to getting up on a perch. They haven't got on it yet, but they have jumped up on top of the coop and walked around on top of the coop, so I know they like being up high. There's Nellie and Brewster together, and look at Nellie. She's as big as Brewster is. She's got to be 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds easy. She's big. She's happy. She's been eating really well. But you're not laying any eggs there, Nellie. How about getting some eggs going here? All right. So I thought you'd like to see this. And yeah, this piece up here, I was telling my neighbors yesterday, I've hit my head on it a few times. But what I'm going to do down the line, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, is after I get this roofed, because I need the extra support while I'm putting my weight on the roof, I'll take this out of here. This block will come out, and this is going to go up right up against the 2x4 rafters here at the center. So this will raise up there and raise up here, and it'll still give me support on the roof, but I'll be able to walk around in here without ducking every 2 seconds. I can get under these rafters easily as I'm walking, but I can't get underneath this cross member, and every time I go over to the coop here, I bang my head on it. Or I'll be bent over at the coop cleaning, I straighten back up and I hit my head on it. Oh my God. Oh, it's a good thing I'm hard-headed. All right, so we got that done. Let's move on down the line because I'm running a little long here. Doors closed. I'm going to be coming back out and closing the doors on the chicken coop right after the sun sets. But I got a couple more hours to go yet. All right, my gifted mulberry trees are doing really well. Now, mulberry trees like to be like along a stream where the ground is wet all the time. They can get a lot of water. They like a lot of water. And I figured what I'm going to do with those is I've got my gray water pit going here. And you can see all the growth all the way around it. Even the bushes are green, the old greasewood bushes. There's a lot of water that comes soaking through the ground around the gray water pit, and this is going to end up getting blocked in, concrete blocked in, and I can use the gray water because there's no black water that goes in here, just gray water. The gray water from here can be used for watering the plants. Well, since it's soaked the ground down deep, that's going to look for root growth. So if I can get all this greenery out of here and plant my mulberry trees along both sides of this thing, they should be pretty happy and always getting all the water they want. Here's the yellow buckets I told you I transferred the water down from up there at the container. And there was a call for Friday being 90% chance of rain. Well, that changed. Last night I rechecked it. Now it's Friday and Saturday, but it's only 40% each day. So, little change in that. All right, my corn seeds in all of the little boxes there have all started sprouting. So, it's going to be ready to get corn going here real soon. I've got some already I transferred over here a month ago. And then right there I marked corn on the board, and it goes straight across, and I can see a sprout coming up out of the ground right there. So it is time now to plant corn. The ground is warm enough, and I'll get my seeds out here. I'm going to go all the way down the center here with 4 rows straight down the center, and that'll still give me room on the sides of those for other things like cantaloupe, watermelon, things like that. And my cabbage here is let's see if there's Cabbage Patch Kids under there, because that's a forest. Pear tree. I've got some pears already set on here. You can see one right inside of there, and one right there. New buds coming out. So this one's going to be happy. It's going to be a good pear tree this year. I'm probably going to have to brace up these branches because they're not strong enough to hold all the weight of the pears that are going to come out. And I'll probably pluck some of the pears off to increase the value of the other pears that are left on. Peaches, look at those. I've got peaches everywhere. Loads of peaches. Yeah, there's going to be some fruit coming off of this. Peach brandy, huh? Anyway, cauliflower. I don't see any cauliflower heads on these things yet, but they're growing like crazy, and the greens are edible. So I pluck off 1 or 2 here and there, and I stick those into the salad when I'm having a salad. Tomatoes, Husky Cherry Reds. They're already starting to produce cherries on here. I love them. The Roma looks like it took a beating from the cooler weather and the winds, but there's tomatoes, so we're okay. And then over here, the better bush, yep, there's tomatoes in there. So tomatoes are coming up pretty good. This pear tree really doing a great job, and getting a lot of leaves on it, but no buds. And my grafts, they're still flexible here, so still hoping that those are going to completely take. I don't know. All right, seedlings that were in the house, my tomatoes, I've got them all out here transplanted today. So they've been watered. They took a little shock when they got moved out here, but this ground is really soaked. And while I was digging to plant all the stuff, all the seedlings, there were worms everywhere. Every hole I made, there was probably a handful of worms inside the hole. So I gathered some of them up in a little container and I brought them over to the chickens, and oh my God, did they love those. Because I got plenty of worms, I don't have to worry about running out. All right, my broccoli, early broccoli, I got that out and transplanted out here. I got my bean plants, my bean stalks here. And these are not Jack's, these are mine. But when they grow magic beans, I'll sell them on my channel. So don't forget. All right, last thing before I head out of here. Let's see. Yeah, I moved some of the trees that I got from Aurora out of the way so that I could get my planting done here. I brought some of the other corns out here. But I'm just going to get all the seeds planted directly into the ground and let them come up by themselves within the next week or so. And lettuce growing everywhere. Potatoes doing great. Onions doing great. Blackberries, raspberries. Everything's happy. These trees, I've got fresh buds on them. This one and this one. So you see the little buds right there. They're going to spring back out. You see them right there. Now that the weather's getting better, they'll come up really fast. Over here, got my beets. I'm ready to pick some of those. This one looks like it's going to go to seed if I don't get them out of there. And those things are so sweet, I don't cook them. I eat them raw. My romaine and my other lettuces doing great in the self-watering garden here. Radishes, carrots, everything's growing up great. There's a couple of my onions that I regenerated from just the roots of onions that I had bought at the store during the winter, and they're coming up also. So everything's all done here. That's it. I'm going to head inside, have a cold one, and tonight's dinner is going to be bone-in New York on the grill with fired jalapeno peppers and dirty mashed potatoes with brown gravy. Oh, I just made myself hungry. All right, everybody. G-Bear. Oh, hey, I'm still walking up there. Let me tell you, I've reached another milestone on my YouTube channel. Apparently 3,000 subscribers made me eligible to sell subscriptions or memberships to my channel. So I'm not going to do that just yet, because with each membership there's going to be perks. There will be perks that I can put together, and just by becoming a member you'll be eligible for those perks. And I'll have 3 levels of membership, and I'm going to start them off very inexpensive, so everybody will be able to afford a membership. So we'll get that all together. I've still got to do some planning. I'm going to figure out what the perks are going to be, and we'll work it from there. Otherwise, this is G-Bear reminding you to give me a thumbs up down there. Don't forget to subscribe. Love y'all. G-Bear signing off.